Have you noticed that no matter how many times you clear your throat during the day, that annoying mucus just keeps coming back? Maybe you wake up every morning feeling like something is stuck deep in your throat. Maybe you constantly cough, swallow repeatedly, or feel the need to clear your throat so often that it has simply become part of your daily routine. And if you're over the age of 50, you may have quietly accepted this discomfort as just another normal part of getting older. But what if I told you that constant mucus in your throat is not something you should simply ignore? And more importantly, what if the real cause is not what most people think it is? Because today, I'm going to explain something that surprises many of my patients. Most people believe excess mucus in the throat means they have a cold, seasonal allergies, or maybe a lingering infection. And while those things can certainly contribute, there is one hidden cause responsible for throat mucus in millions of adults over 50, and many people have absolutely no idea it's happening inside their body every single day. And before this video ends, I'm going to reveal the most overlooked reason this happens, along with simple ways you can begin fixing it naturally. The last cause I'll reveal may completely change the way you think about your own symptoms, so stay with me, because this information could help solve a problem you may have been struggling with for years. Now, if you're over 50, you've probably noticed that your body doesn't always function exactly the way it did 20 years ago. You may wake up feeling a little stiffer, digestion may not feel as efficient, sleep patterns often change, your energy levels can fluctuate more than they used to. And yes, the tissues inside your throat, lungs, stomach, and nasal passages also begin changing as part of the natural aging process. This means certain health issues begin appearing more frequently, and mucus production is one of them. Here's something important to understand. Your body naturally produces mucus every single day. In fact, mucus is not the enemy. It actually serves an incredibly important purpose. It traps dust, bacteria, viruses, pollutants, and tiny particles before they can enter deeper parts of your respiratory system. Think of it as your body's internal protective shield. Normally, you don't even notice it because the body quietly clears mucus without discomfort. But when something disrupts that balance, production increases, and suddenly you begin feeling that frustrating sensation in the back of your throat. Now, here is where most people misunderstand the problem. They assume the mucus itself is the issue, but often, mucus is not the problem. It is the symptom. It is your body sending you a signal that something deeper is happening. And one of the biggest hidden causes, especially in adults over 50, is something called postnasal drip. This happens when excess mucus produced inside your nasal passages slowly drains down the back of your throat instead of exiting normally through your nose. Sometimes this occurs because of allergies, sometimes because of dry air, sometimes because of chronic sinus irritation. But here is what many people don't realize. As we age, the tissues inside the nose and sinuses often become more sensitive and inflamed much more easily. That means even mild environmental triggers can cause the body to overproduce mucus. Dust in your bedroom, dry air from a fan, air conditioning running all night, seasonal pollen, even perfumes or cleaning chemicals. The body reacts defensively, and mucus production increases. Now imagine waking up in the morning feeling that thick, sticky sensation coating the back of your throat. You swallow repeatedly. You clear your throat again and again. You drink water hoping it disappears, but somehow it lingers. Sound familiar? You're not alone. But postnasal drip is only one piece of the puzzle. Here comes the second major cause, and this surprises people even more: acid reflux. Now, when people hear acid reflux, they immediately think of heartburn, burning in the chest, stomach discomfort after eating spicy food. But there is another type called silent reflux, and this one often happens without obvious heartburn symptoms at all. Stomach acid slowly travels upward toward the throat while you sleep or after meals. The tissues in your throat become irritated. Your body senses this irritation and tries to protect itself by producing extra mucus. So what happens? You constantly feel something stuck in your throat. You clear your throat frequently. You may develop hoarseness. Sometimes a dry cough appears for weeks or months. And because there is no obvious burning sensation, people never suspect their stomach is causing the problem. Think about that for a second. The problem may not even be in your throat. It may actually begin in your digestive system. This becomes even more common after age 50 because the muscle separating the stomach from the esophagus often weakens over time. Digestion slows. Certain medications can worsen reflux. Eating large meals late at night becomes harder for the body to handle. And slowly, mucus becomes your body's defense mechanism. Now let me ask you something. Have you been clearing your throat constantly for months, maybe even years, without understanding why? Or maybe you wake up every morning coughing and feeling like you need to swallow repeatedly before your throat feels normal. If that sounds familiar, I'd love to hear your experience. Share it in the comments because sometimes people discover they're not dealing with these symptoms alone, and awareness can change everything. Now here comes the third cause. And remember at the beginning when I told you there is one hidden reason many people never consider? This is the one. Chronic dehydration. And yes, this affects millions of people over 50. As we age, the body's natural thirst signals often become weaker. Many older adults simply do not feel thirsty as often as they used to, so they drink less water throughout the day without realizing it. But here is what happens inside the body. When hydration levels drop, mucus becomes thicker. Instead of staying thin and moving naturally, it becomes sticky, dense, heavy, and difficult to clear. That thick sensation builds inside the throat, and suddenly it feels like something is trapped there all day long. Now imagine smooth, healthy hydration inside your body. Moist tissues, comfortable swallowing, easy breathing, the throat feeling open and clear. That sensation of simply breathing comfortably without constantly coughing or clearing your throat. You can almost feel the difference just imagining it. And this is where simple habits begin changing outcomes. Drinking enough water consistently, reducing excessive caffeine, avoiding too much alcohol, keeping indoor air properly humidified. These small changes can create powerful improvements surprisingly fast. But there's another factor people overlook completely: diet. Certain foods increase inflammation and mucus production dramatically. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, heavy dairy intake in some individuals, fried foods, late-night overeating. When the body becomes inflamed internally, mucus production often increases as part of the protective response. Now I want you to think about something important. Your body is constantly communicating with you. You know this already. You know your energy feels different when you sleep poorly. You know digestion changes depending on what you eat. You know breathing feels easier when your body feels healthy. You know discomfort signals that something is happening internally. And when mucus constantly builds in your throat, your body may be quietly asking for attention. This is what I always remind patients. Do not simply treat symptoms. Understand what the symptom is trying to tell you, because endless throat clearing is not the real issue. Excess mucus is not the real issue. The real issue is identifying what is triggering your body to overproduce it in the first place. Sometimes it is postnasal drip, sometimes silent reflux, sometimes dehydration, sometimes inflammation caused by diet and lifestyle, and occasionally, persistent throat mucus can signal something more serious that deserves medical evaluation, especially if accompanied by unexplained weight loss, trouble swallowing, blood in mucus, ongoing wheezing, or symptoms lasting for months without improvement. So paying attention matters. And here's what I want you to remember. The body is incredibly intelligent. It adapts constantly. It protects itself every second of the day. Mucus is not your enemy. It is your body responding to irritation, inflammation, imbalance, or environmental stress. And as you start noticing these connections, as you begin making small adjustments, drinking more water, improving digestion, reducing inflammatory foods, sleeping with your head slightly elevated if reflux is present, your body often begins responding in ways that feel remarkably different. Breathing becomes clearer. Swallowing feels easier. Morning throat discomfort begins fading. That constant urge to clear your throat slowly disappears. And with that comes something incredibly valuable: comfort, relief, confidence in your own health. Now let's close the loop we opened at the beginning. I told you most people misunderstand why mucus constantly forms in the throat, and now you know the truth. The mucus itself usually isn't the problem. It is the signal. The three most overlooked causes are postnasal drip, silent acid reflux, and chronic dehydration, all incredibly common in adults over 50. And the hidden mistake millions of people make is trying to treat the mucus while ignoring what is causing the body to create it. Your body deserves better than temporary solutions. Listen to what it's telling you. Pay attention to recurring symptoms. Notice patterns. Small awareness today can prevent bigger health issues tomorrow. If you learned something valuable from this video, take a moment to like this video because it helps spread important health education to more people who genuinely need it. Subscribe to the channel if you care about protecting your health and understanding what your body is trying to communicate as you age. And most importantly, share this video with someone you care about, because many people suffer with symptoms like this every day without realizing the true cause. Take care of yourself, stay curious about your health, listen closely to your body, and I'll see you again very soon.